Devotees Go Back to Godhead, an essential subject from Vinipdrla Prabhupada mandates every devotee to be determined that in this life he will satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead and by that process go back home, back to Godhead. RLA Prabhupada adds that this is the perfection of the highest mission of human life. It is truly miraculous that in this seemingly unending fog of darkness and ignorance, devotees have been given the light of such clear and concise instructions. Perfect ourselves in this life and go back to our original home. Srila Prabhupada's books, lectures, conversations and letters offer a comprehensive presentation of this essential subject as seen in the Vinikotes Devotees Go Back to Godhead category. An introduction from his books is given below in the following 12 quotes. Quotes from Srila Prabhupada's books. Persons whose austerity is meager can hardly obtain the service of the pure devotees who are progressing on the path back to the kingdom of Godhead, the Vaikuhas. Pure devotees engage 100% in glorifying the Supreme Lord, who is the Lord of the demigods and the controller of all living entities. Armad Bh Gavatam 3.7. 20. A devotee knows that after death he is going back home, back to Godhead. Therefore he has no fear of death. Thus instead of depressing a devotee, advanced age helps him become fearless and thus happy. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.27. 24. Due to the grace of the Supreme Lord, a devotee is never vanquished. Due to his willful neglect of devotional service, a devotee may be punished for a short time, but he again revives his devotional service and returns home, back to Godhead. Armad Bh Gavatam 5.8. 27. Only in the association of devotees can one relish the glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just through a little association with a pure devotee, one can become successful in his journey back to Godhead. Armad Bh Gavatam 5.13. 21. Whenever one is perplexed, let him take shelter of the lotus feet of Vasudeva, Krishna, who will give the devotee intelligence to help him surpass all difficulties and return home, back to Godhead. Armad Bh Gavatam 8.16. 20. A devotee of Lord Krishna is always peaceful because he has no desire, whereas the yagas, karmas and jns have so many desires to fulfill. One may argue that the devotees have desires, for they wish to go home, back to Godhead, but such a desire does not agitate the mind. Although he wishes to go back to Godhead, a devotee is satisfied in any condition of life. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.24. 20. Holy places like Vindivana, Hardwar, Praga and Jagannathapur are especially meant for the execution of devotional service. Vindivana specifically is the most exalted and preferred holy place for Vaishnava devotees of Lord Krishna who are aspiring to return back to Godhead, the Vaikuha planets. Armad Bh Gavatam 5.8. 31. He, Lord Krishna, gives his instruction from within the heart of a pure devotee who is constantly engaged in the service of the Lord. Such instruction is given not for any material purpose but only for going back home, back to Godhead. Armad Bh Gavatam 1.9. 32. It appears that by the arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, King Aga, although a pious devotee, got an unfortunate wife like Suntiach and later on a bad child like Veena. But the result was that he got complete freedom from the entanglement of family life and left home to go back to Godhead. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.13. 39. In the land known as Bh Radhavare, even if one is a Sarvakema Bhakta, a devotee seeking the fulfillment of some material desire, he is freed from all material desires by his association with devotees, and ultimately he becomes a pure devotee and returns home, back to Godhead, without difficulty. Armad Bh Gavatam 5.19 Summary. The life of a sincere devotee of the Lord is thus explained in a nutshell by Narada Muni by his personal example. Such a devotee, after his initiation by the Lord or his bona fide representative, takes very seriously chanting of the glories of the Lord and traveling all over the world so that others may also hear the glories of the Lord. Such devotees have no desire for material gain. They are conducted by one single desire, to go back to Godhead. This awaits them in due course on quitting the material body. Because they have the highest aim of life, going back to Godhead, they are never envious of anyone, nor are they proud of being eligible to go back to Godhead. Armad Bh Gavatam 1.6. 26. An intelligent devotee, instead of being entangled by the happiness of this material world in the form of a beautiful wife, material opulence and children, desires to be immediately transferred back home, back to Godhead. Thus he worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead, VU. Armad Bh Gavatam 5.2. 2.